And his mouth, alayhi salatu wassalam, was wide. And he's described as having a perfect articulation. His words were crisp. You could hear everything he said, sallallahu alayhi wasallam. And his voice was melodious, and it had a natural echo to it, sallallahu alayhi wasallam. And his hair, just like everything else, is perfectly in the middle. It wasn't too straight, nor was it too curly, but instead it was wavy hair. And the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam would keep it sometimes to his earlobes, sometimes he would let it go all the way to his shoulders, sallallahu alayhi wasallam. And of course, in times of Hajj and Umrah, he would shave his head, sallallahu alayhi wasallam. He also had a dense, full beard, alayhi salatu wassalam. And the Prophet sallallahu alayhi wasallam used to comb his hair and he used to comb his beard. And they were fully black. And the Sahaba counted just between 14 and 20 gray hairs in his hair and his beard, sallallahu alayhi wasallam, at the time of his death. So he's 63 and he only had a few gray hairs, sallallahu alayhi wasallam, in his hair and his beard. And they said when he would use oil, sallallahu alayhi wasallam, you couldn't even see them. And when you could see them, they were concentrated right under his lips, sallallahu alayhi wasallam, and on his sideburns, alayhi salatu wasalam. Then you come down to his neck. And the Prophet ﷺ had an elegant long neck. They said it was like the neck of a gazelle, sallallahu alayhi wasallam. And then you looked at his shoulders. He had broad shoulders, sallallahu alayhi wasallam. He was strong arms, alayhi salatu wasalam. He had a strong chest. And even until the date of his death, his stomach never extended beyond his chest, sallallahu alayhi wasallam. So he maintained his weight, alayhi salatu wasalam, and he maintained his fitness. The Prophet ﷺ was not a hairy man. So other than his hair on his head and his beard, the Prophet ﷺ did not have much hair on the rest of his body. And he had a little bit of hair on his chest and a line that naturally ran down all the way to his navel, sallallahu alayhi wasallam. Then you come to his limbs. And the Prophet ﷺ is described as having well-defined big limbs. So he had big bones, big hands, big feet. He had large calves, sallallahu alayhi wasallam. And they said that his calves were perfectly round, and then he had absolutely no weight on his heels, alayhi salatu wassalam. And his lower body was so strong, sallallahu alayhi wasallam, that he used to be able to jump on a horse and a camel and mount it with absolutely no saddle because of the strength of his lower body. And that's why you'll find, subhanAllah, that Al-Hasan radiallahu ta'ala anhu is described as resembling the Prophet ﷺ in his upper body, meaning his beauty. Al-Husayn radiallahu ta'ala anhu is described as resembling the Prophet ﷺ in his lower body because of his strength. He was a warrior radiallahu ta'ala anhu, like his grandfather sallallahu alayhi wasallam. Despite that, Anas ibn Malik radiallahu ta'ala anhu says that his hands and his feet were smoother than silk, and water would slither right off of the hands and the feet of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam.